Hey, it's Barb for Wonderful Works, and today we're going to take a look at a topic we've talked about before, how to set up kids for success in the church classroom. But instead of focusing on how to shift our mindset, we're going to take a look and see what happens when we apply the principles from universal design to changing our classroom environment. Some pretty interesting stuff, so we're so glad you're here today. Hey there, just finished class? Looks like it was a good day. Yeah, that's setting kids up for success is some really good stuff. Wonder if there's any other good stuff we can learn to make things even better. Setting all kids up for success in the church classroom, Part 2. 3 tips for universal design. So we learned in our first video that all kids do better when we change our mindset about how we interact with them. But what about changing other things in the classroom, like the environment? Do you think how we design our space can impact a student's day at church too? Well, it sure does, which is why if you want to create a classroom where everyone feels set up for success, then you want to create a classroom using universal design. So what is universal design anyway? Universal design is the design and composition of the environment so that it can be accessed, understood, and used to the greatest extent possible by all people regardless of their age, size, ability, or disability. In other words, universal design means setting up your environment in a way that works for all but is required by some. Let's take a look at an example. A ramp versus stairs. Oh, I see. Providing stairs only gets some people in the building, but providing a ramp universally works for everyone. So a ramp is an example of universal design. That is pretty good stuff. So let's look at how we can use universal design in our own classrooms. Number 1, look at your space. The first step to creating an environment that works for everyone is to look at the space you have now and then ask yourself a few important questions. Could someone who uses a mobility device, such as a walker or a wheelchair, access every part of the room? If not, what needs to be changed? Would someone who has sensitive senses, like many people on the autism spectrum, feel comfortable here? This includes thinking about the volume of music, noticing any strong odors or fragrances, and evaluating the brightness of your lighting. If you do see things that may be hard for some, what can you do to make them better? Is your room organized in a way that makes visual sense? For instance, do you have clearly designated areas for each activity? Setting up visual boundaries helps communicate expectations to students and reduces stress. And it can be as easy as rearranging the room or adding in a few rugs. For more on this, check out Wonderful Works, Autism, and Visual Boundaries. Number 2, incorporate visual aids. Using visual aids is an evidence-based intervention that helps children with intellectual disabilities process information better, which means that it also reduces stress and cuts down on challenging behaviors. But even better than that, visual aids help everyone else in the classroom too. So why not? Label activity stations with words and graphics. Offer a visual schedule of your daily routine. Use first-then boards to break down tasks to 2 at a time. Post important reminders around the room, and much more. To learn more about how to use visual aids in the classroom, please visit the Adaptive Discipleship Library Classroom Tools page. Print out some ready-to-go resources or make some of your own. Number 3, be prepared for adaptations. The last part of creating an environment that is universally helpful for all is to understand that no matter what you do, sometimes adaptations will still be needed, and that's okay. So be prepared to meet the specific needs of students by having some adapted resources available, like noise-canceling headphones that help reduce volume, fidgets that give restless students a positive outlet, and a sensory break area to help students find their calm. And the most important thing to have available? Your listening ears, because the best way to meet specific needs for your students is to invite them and their families in to tell you more about what they need. That way you can work together to create adaptations that work for them. And what could set someone up for success better than that? Well, I guess there was some other good stuff that we could learn to make things even better. But there's one more thing before you go. At the beginning of this video, we asked if how we design our space could impact a student's day at church. But what about after church is over? Spend some time this week thinking about the impact you have on your students' lives. What difference does it make if your student feels left out or if he feels loved? Or what impact might that have on the universe all around them? Thanks for joining us. See you next time.